Hello, my name is Joe Hennis.
And I'm Jarrod Fairclough.
And welcome to Introduce Our Guest Star, a Muppet fan podcast presented by toughpigs.com. In this show, Jarrod and I are taking it in turns to surprise each other with this week's guests. And this week, once again, it is my turn. So Jarrod, you have not a clue who our special guest is going to be. Is that correct?
Not a clue at all. And I usually have some working theory. Today, I've literally got nothing. I've got a theory on who it's not, but that's about 7 billion people. So
yeah, it's not one of those people. I can confirm that.
we're
going to play a little.
I was going to say, can we change the game to me guessing who it's not? Because I feel like I'm going to get something right. Because I don't think I've had any right this season so far.
I don't think you have. But I don't know. I have faith in you today.
All right,
We'll
fingers
see.
crossed.
All right, hit me with some questions. What do you want to know?
All right, as always, Muppets, Sesame, or Henson?
Muppets.
Okay. That's completely thrown a theory of who I didn't think it was out.
Great. We're narrowing it down. That's the point of the game.
Is this person a puppeteer?
No.
Is this person a writer?
No, not in the way that you're thinking. This person is a writer, but not
Okay.
for Muppet things. I think that's what you're wondering.
Writer, but not for Muppet things. Oh. Is this person... Is this person currently working with the Muppets?
No.
Okay. Have they worked with them in the last 10, 15 years?
Yes.
Cool. I've got absolutely nothing at the moment. Someone who writes for the Muppets, but not in the way I'm thinking, but doesn't work.
No, they don't write for the Muppets. That threw you off. Forget the writer thing.
Okay,
Yeah.
bye Muppets. No. Have they written any songs for the Muppets?
No, they have never written for the Muppets. Is what I'm saying.
So the Muppets have it.
You asked if they were a writer.
Why did you tell me they were a writer?
I'm trying to tell you now, Jarrod.
Okay, so they haven't written anything.
I said technically this person is, among other things, a writer. I didn't want to say no to that, but this person has never written for the Muppets.
Okay. I have literally zero ideas. So have they worked on any Muppet films?
Like a feature film, like a theatrical film? No.
No. Well, then I have literally no idea. I'm gonna take a stab in the dark. Is it Muppet producer Martin Baker?
It is not Muppet producer Martin Baker. I'm so sorry, Jarrod.
That's all right.
But I'm very excited for you, and I think you're going to be excited in about 20 seconds.
Yep.
Our guest today is an actor, writer, and comedian who has appeared in such films as Tropic Thunder, 500 Days of Summer, and Avengers Endgame. You've seen her on TV series like Drake and Josh, That 70s Show, and The Office. Oh, you're making a face now. You know who it is.
She is Yvette Nicole Brown.
Jarrod, she recently received a Primetime Emmy Award for her work on a Black Lady sketch show, and she deserved an Emmy for her role as Shirley Bennett on one of your favorite and my favorite TV shows, Community. She had a featured role in Muppet's Haunted Mansion, and she is a huge Muppet fan in her own right. Jarrod, I am extremely pleased to introduce our guest star, Yvette Nicole Brown.
Holy Jesus.
I think she's here. Yvette, if you're there, we just spoiled the surprise. Oh, there you are.
I just changed my name so I wouldn't break.
That was great because not everyone thinks to do that.
Yeah, I changed my picture to the pillow that's in this hotel.
Great.
That's the picture.
It doesn't look anything like you. So, perfect. Oh, you changed like the actual photo. Terrific. Yeah, by the way, so I'm Joe. This is Jarrod.
Hi, Joe. Hi, Jarrod.
Hi. This is such a huge treat. We are humongous fans of yours, and you've been on. I can't speak for Jarrod, but I assume it's true for him too. You've been on my list of people who I've wanted to talk to for Tough Pigs for a really long time, just because you've been such an outspoken fan of the Muppets.
Yeah, I love.
Yeah, so you're one of us, is what I'm saying.
Absolutely.
This is a very big moment for me because, and I'm sure you hear this a lot, but Community, literally one of my favorite TV shows, if not my favorite TV show of all time. I'm very, very starstruck and very excited because, like, Joe, that's Shirley. Shirley talking to us right now.
That's so sweet. Thank you so much.
We'll get to all the Muppets and everything, but at the time of recording, there's a lot of news going around. Can you just let us break it, Yvette? Community movie. When's it happening?
You know what, if I could be the one to break it for you, I really would. Honestly, it's the same thing we've always said. Everybody has a desire to do it. There's no one that's like, I don't want to do that film. We all want to do it. It's just, you have to do scheduling. Everybody has to be free at the same time, and a script has to be written. And you know what I mean? It's like the same thing with any movie that comes together. But at least it's not that there's no desire. You see what I mean? Like, if we didn't want to do it, then that would be the end of it, but we all do. So it's just a matter of time for them to figure out how to get it together. That's what I believe. I'm a fan of the show too. So yeah, so no scoop except, it's the same, it's no new scoop, but the same scoop,
All right.
We'd love
I'll
to
take
do
it.
Well,
I'll take it.
Either way,
Well,
we'll
if
be
they
first
want
in line to see it. I mean, we're ready for it. I think everyone is,
Oh.
but we really are for sure.
I love it.
So you have been such an outspoken Muppet fan since the early days of Community, when we really, Jarrod and I really started following you and the rest of the cast on a regular basis and seeing you in interviews and such. Why was it important for you as a fan to be mentioning this on such a regular basis?
Well, it's like any other fandom, right? Like when I say this all the time when I talk about nerds, because nerds get a bad rap, but really being a nerd is just loving something a lot. Like, I love it so much. Oh my God. That's a nerd. So you can be a nerd about video games. You can be a nerd about, I'm a nerd about napping. I love napping so much. And just that I love, like, my whole life. I've loved Sesame Street. I've loved the Muppet movies. I've loved everything Jim Henson my entire life. So the things that I love, I talk about. Like, if you follow me on social media, if I'm talking about it, I really care about it, be it politics or kindness or the Muppets or Ted Lasso. Like, there's 1,000 things that I love, and I just talk about all of them.
I'm glad you mentioned
Yeah.
Ted Lasso, because I know that you did an interview with Brett Goldstein a while back for his podcast.
Who loves the Muppets? I mean, me and Brett love a lot.
Yeah, he loves the Muppets. And like same to the point of, like, I've got a short list of celebrities who talk about it a lot, and it's like, I know they would get it if we can get in touch with them. I know they would get it. Now, I deliberately didn't listen to your interview because I knew that we were going to be doing this, and I didn't want to overlap too much. But did you guys talk about Muppets during that interview, and did you just get that chance to, like, geek out together?
We have talked about the Muppets, I think, in every conversation we've ever had.
Great.
A lot. So, yeah, no. And I think the first time I did his show, and I think still, he has a Muppets poster. He does this, he does his podcast. It looks like he's in, like, a little Hobbit house. Like, he's up in an attic or something. He's got a little door behind him, and it's a tiny, tiny door. And right next to it, he has a Muppets poster. And I've always said to him, why don't you put the Muppets poster over that weird little door? And he always jokes, it's a portal to hell. Or, you know what, Brett is dark at times. So he does jokes like, as soon as you do his podcast, the first thing you see besides his little face is his Muppet poster. So he loves the Muppets. I love the Muppets. Yeah.
Terrific. I have faith that we'll get him one of these days, but he's a big deal now. So maybe he's too big for us.
Brett is very very humble and kind. He's very busy, but
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's now what is he, Hercules in the Marvel universe as well?
oh, Brett.
I mean,
Yeah.
he was at the end of the new Thor film.
Oh my God, how did I forget that? Jesus, you guys, I'm telling you, my brain is going
That's right.
bad. So apparently he is.
Well, you're both in the Marvel universe. I mean, eventually, I think we all will be, but
the Russos have anything to do with it, everyone will be in there. Mine was like a little drive-by. I've been joking that I wanted to pop up. I want to do a prequel series, or not they're all over in the time continuum. So I don't know if it's a prequel or whatever, where it would be in the thing. But me and Agent Carter in the 70s. I think Phyllis I named her Phyllis Jenkins. I think Phyllis and Agent Carter should be solving crimes with a young Chris Evans who came back to that time frame, by the way. So that's all I'm saying.
I love the
Make it
idea.
happen.
Well, yeah, we'll get on to the Russos and off we go. Now, I don't have their number, so I'm going to probably put that on you, Yvette, but...
I'll give them a call.
All right, cool.
So we do, I mean, again, huge fans of Community, so we do have to talk about Community for a bit. There's been multiple Muppet references throughout the series. Some of my favorites are Troy and Abed dressed up as Bert and Ernie.
No, that was me, right? That happened because of me.
That's what I was going to ask. I literally had that down as a question of if it was that your idea. So how did that come about?
Because from the first time I looked at the two of them, it looked like Bert and Ernie to me. And I said it for you. I think we did tag maybe sometime in season 2 or 3, but I had been saying it to Dan Harmon since day one. I'm like, please, you have got to have them as Bert and Ernie because their little head shapes, their faces, their coloring, they're freaking Bert and Ernie. It's ridiculous how much they look like them. So yeah, that was me.
But the brilliant thing about that moment is, and this is such a geek thing that I feel like you got to be a huge fan to really get it, is that it looks like Troy is like a live hand puppet and Abed is a rod puppet, like Bert and Ernie are. Like that's how their hands work.
Really, the attention to detail on our show was ridiculous. Dan Harmon, we've called him a genius, and I believe that he is. And then you have, craftsmen like the Russo brothers as our executive producers. Like we had an embarrassment of riches on that show. And I think we were a little bit ahead of our time. I don't think the audience was ready for what we were doing. Because we really were like a live action Simpsons. Like you knew what was gonna happen. And we referred to ourselves off screen, at least I did, as Muppets. I just thought we were Muppets and the Isle of Misfit Toys. Like all of those names apply to all of those crazy people at that, and not just the study group. Everyone at Greendale was like a Muppet. It was ridiculous how crazy everybody was in the best way. So yeah.
I completely agree. That's probably one of the reasons why Jarrod and I glommed onto that show so much. Like it really is so similar to the types of things that we fell in love with that we've decided to, run a whole website about.
Yeah.
Of course, then there's obviously the season 2 Halloween episode where you're Glinda the Good Witch, but everyone thinks you're Miss Piggy.
Yeah. And it was funny that I can't take credit for that, although I would love to. That's from the mind of Dan Harmon. But to get to listen, both are great. Glinda and Piggy are great, but Piggy is like, that's huge. So I was really honored that I got to, do a version of Miss Piggy.
And it's sort of the opposite of you in real life, where Shirley seems so insulted that anyone would think that she's Miss Piggy. But I feel like you would say like, no, like put me in the pig costume. Like let me get my cosplay on. Show some love to her.
Hate to Piggy, even from Shirley. I think Shirley had just put a lot of time in her Glinda costume, and it's offensive to put in the time she put in, and everyone just thinks that she's Miss Piggy. I think it was more, how dare you? I'm Glinda, more so than there's something wrong with Piggy. I think she would respect Piggy as well.
Oh, that's
sure.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. Shirley
I mean,
a fan
also,
as well.
Shirley's voice was always quite high, and she's got that slight pigginess to her voice as well.
A little bit. She's a fan.
Then there was the episode Intro to Felt Surrogacy, which was the one where the cast was taken over by puppets or replaced with puppets. Now, I know you had said in interviews before that episode aired or was even produced that you had always wanted there to be like a Muppet-themed episode. And that's probably the closest we ever got. First of all, I'd love to know what you kind of had in mind for what you would have wanted to see from an actual Muppet episode of Community.
Well, I mean, I think that is essentially what it was. Like the only way it could have been better is if we had a episode with actual Muppets, like to have Kermit and Gonzo, and that's the only way that it could have possibly been better. But our puppets were created by people that were peripheral in the Henson world. And our puppeteers were actual puppeteers that work on Sesame Street and had worked with Muppets or on Muppet Productions. So we had the top tier A-list team on this. And Julianne, who was my puppeteer, I'm still friends with her because I got to see the other thing that was great about it is I've always known that puppeteers were unsung. Like there's no way you can be working on your back, looking at a monitor, the arm strength you need, all of it. They have to contort their bodies, all of that. But to see it firsthand and to see them all under that table with their little monitors and working so hard to get our mannerisms down and our voices down. And it was just really wonderful to watch as a fan of puppeteers. I was over the moon the entire week. So that was essentially our Muppet episode. And I had been praying. We all had favorite throughout the years. We would kind of go, hey, what about a cartoon? Or what about animation or stop motion animation? So we all had different things that we were hoping would happen. And Dan is the same way. He's creative and inventive in the same way. So he had different ideas. We're going to do film noir this week, or it's going to be, an ode to Goodfellas. So all of those things and Muppets were the one that I
Yeah, there's a
wanted. That was
great
my dream.
behind the scenes featurette, I think on the season 4 DVD, where they show like the behind the scenes of that episode, and you can just see how excited you are, and you're just shouting out, "Go Shirley!" as Julianne's got her dancing, and I think it's Drew Massey playing Abed, or doing the Abed puppet. He has just a couple of little mannerisms. He has Danny Pudi down pat. Like, it's fascinating to watch.
You know what? I want to give Julianne even more applause, because there was a snafu when we were rehearsing that episode. I've never told anybody this. There was a snafu where I didn't know that we had a table read. We had an important table read that I can't remember if the puppeteers were coming to the table read or if the puppeteers were getting a video of the table read. But that table read was to allow them to be able to see all of our mannerisms so they could incorporate it into their puppeteering. I missed that table read. So Julianne had to wing it when we had all gone in and recorded our voices, but she had to wing it with all of the Shirleyisms. And I thought she did a great job, having never met me before we were on set together, not getting the same ability to see me work as Shirley as everyone else did. Work as Shirley saying those exact lines, So I really impressed what she was able to create basically out of thin air.
We should add, for anyone who might not be following along, Julianne is Julianne Boucher, who works with Henson, works with the Muppets. She's the performer behind Yolanda on the recent Muppet sitcom and many others. And she's so talented and she's so kind. And that, honestly, of any of the puppeteers who could have performed your character, that's top notch.
Yep, she's the best.
Mm-hmm, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Some of your community cast members, including Joel McHale, Donald Glover, Ken Jeong, and Chevy Chase, have all worked with Muppets or Sesame Street at some point in their careers. When you were working with them on Community, was there ever a point where you're like, just tell me the stories, just like let me know what it's like to get to be on the set or get to work with those guys?
That's so crazy. I never have asked. I even asked Brett. Brett Goldstein just did Sesame Street. I want my time on the street. I hope that one day I do enough, and I always say I want to do enough. I'm grateful that I got to be in Muppet's Haunted Mansion. Don't get me wrong. I have had my Muppet moment, but the Sesame Street moment, I think says everything about the life you've led, that you love the kids. You know what I mean? Like, I would love to, and also Sesame Street is part of my childhood. I was raised by Sesame Street. So the idea of getting to be on the street and teach the kids something with one of the Muppets is my dream. So I don't want to know how it went for anybody else. I want to find out for myself. Even if I don't get on till I'm 80, I'm going to wait until I get on the street to find out myself.
I do find it amazing that you haven't been on yet, because I mean, you've been in the zeitgeist now for years with Drake and Josh and Community and all the other amazing things you've done, like, and you're Emmy nominated, and it's like, yeah, and you're such a massive fan. It's like, yeah, let's get Yvette, please. Like, come on, that's a no-brainer at this point.
I don't know if I'm on their radar. I think they're so busy educating the kids. I think you have to be kind of like, you got to be super huge, and I don't think I've gotten there yet. And that's literally how I gauge my life. Like, when I got the call for Haunted Mansion, I'm like, I'm getting there. Like, I'm almost there. Like, once I think you get the Sesame Street call, you truly have become a part of the entertainment industry, really, like, proper. I feel like you don't get on Sesame Street unless you have really done something. And so I don't take it personal that I haven't made it on yet. I just got to keep working into that level. But whenever they call, and I pray they do one day, I'm going to be right there, like, crying as I walk with my camera out, taking pictures of my childhood, basically.
We call that the Elmo nod. when you no, I just made that up. That's not a real thing. But we do, I mean, look, we do know, we've been playing this Muppet fan game for a long time. We know these folks. We're gonna put a bug in their ear.
Please. I feel like even if they don't know who I am as a performer, they have to know that there's some black chick out in the world singing their praises. I just started throwing elbows about the Sesame Place mess. I'm like, what you're not gonna do is bring Sesame Street into this hot mess, because nobody was more upset than Sesame Street was. And they have seen us, and us as in black and brown kids, our whole lives. They have always seen us. And it's disgusting that the beautiful thing they've built has been tarnished by that situation. So I've been speaking up about it everywhere I go. So I think they at least have heard of me in that regard by now.
Yeah, because that's good press for them, and especially like amongst all the noise of everything that happened with Sesame Place. And actually, Jarrod did something similar recently on Tough Pigs, where he wrote about like, okay, this is a big mess, but let's not forget Rosita's a great character. Like Carmen is a terrific performer.
Yeah,
like,
I was seeing a lot of people go, well, Rosita needs to be retired from the show, and it's like,
that place did something bad. It was not managed correctly there. And the other thing I talked about was if the television workshop and PBS and everyone had more funding, they wouldn't have to license their characters to get money to be able to do what they need to do. They're doing good work, and they have to license it to make money to be able to continue to do good work. So if we actually, public television, what it should be paid, if we pay teachers what they should be paid, like everyone that's educating children are scraping pennies. It's backwards, so it's like everything about it hurt my heart. What happened to the kids hurt my heart. That Sesame Place would tarnish Sesame Street characters, and that Sesame Street was getting dragged through the mud because of what that one theme park did. All of it made me livid. I was livid.
Yeah, us too. Yeah, it's a horrible thing. But I have faith that Sesame will be able to bounce back. The news moves fast. And Sesame has been here for over 50 years. They'll probably be for another 50 or more. Like, they'll be okay. Well, let's talk about Muppets Haunted Mansion. So I have to assume, knowing nothing, that you got this role. You got this role because you, like we said, you've been this outspoken Muppet fan, and you finally got on the right people's radars, and they're like, yes, come play. From your perspective, do you feel like that's what happened, or was it kind of a different journey to get there?
I do, but I assume knowing nothing is like my new favorite phrase that I'm going to start every sentence with.
Yes. Right. Yes. Steal it. Go for it.
Send an email with that in it so I don't forget what you said. I think it was that. Thankfully, the Muppets and Marvel and Pixar, just about everything else I adore, is all under the Disney Plus banner now. And I Plus, and I love Disney, and so I think through the years they've heard how much I love the Muppets, and I think as they were putting the special together, it's possible that John Stamos and I got the nod in particular because we're Disney Plus people, and we're also very vocal Muppet fans amongst Disney Plus people, and so I think they threw us a bone. I can't. Well, let me leave John out of it. John is John Stamos. They definitely threw me a bone. Like it literally was like, "Come here, little girl. Let me give you a little favor." So when I got the call, the idea that calls like that come the way they come, it was like, we don't know if you'd be interested in doing this, but we don't know if you'd be interested in doing this. I need you guys to tell me how much I need to pay you to do this. How much does it cost to get this opportunity? I will write the check right now. So yeah, it was literally them asking if I wanted to do it, and I said yes, which was just amazing. Everything about it was
obviously, and the lead up to that special, they were announcing all these cameos, and it was like, okay, well, that's cool, Craig Robinson and whoever it might be. But then when they announced Yvette Nicole Brown, I think amongst all of us Muppet fans, we just went, she's one of us, and she got in.
Right. It was a moment of like, oh, finally, finally they let you in.
So funny too, as a huge fan of things myself, I realize that I'm pinching myself, guys, because when you're in the fandom space, as you guys know, what you love is over there. and you don't ever see, you dream it, but you can't fathom the idea of you being in this magical world that you absolutely love, right? So it doesn't matter if it's in an elevator with Captain America and Iron Man, or if it's in a hearse with Pepe and Gonzo. I'm just popping up in spaces that I'm like, I just did Lego Star Wars. It's like I'm a Lego with Obi-Wan on an adventure with Boba Fett chasing us. Like, what, as a fan, how does this happen? So I literally almost everywhere I go, everywhere I work, I'm thanking the Lord and pinching myself everywhere I go, because I don't know how this is my life. I honestly do not know how this is my life.
Do
I
you
don't.
allow yourself a moment in times where you're sitting in an elevator with Captain America and Iron Man, or a hearse with Gonzo Pepe? Do you allow yourself a moment to just freak out, just internally?
Absolutely, and not even internally. Like, that's the thing about nerd. You're a nerd. You can't hide the excitement. And I just tell people, I'm sorry, I'm a nerd and I'm very excited right now. So just give me a moment to get myself together. Because when we were doing Haunted Mansion, I'm in the hearse with them. They're laying down with their little monitors, as Dave, and I'm like, do you understand, like, and Gonzo is my favorite character, by the way. So for me to be in a hearse with Gonzo is and Dave is just, I don't know. That's just, I don't know how you, what do you do with that? Where does that get filed in your little fandom brain? I don't know. I'm still
Oh,
It
processing.
definitely goes into like core memory, like that's something I need to access over and over again, to remind myself like how lucky I am or how great things could be.
Yeah, we're like pen pals now. Like, I can email him and go, "What you doing, Dave? Where you at?"
yeah.
I love
You
it.
know?
It's I've been fortunate enough that I've met a lot of Muppets and I've interviewed a lot of Muppets, and I think my brain goes to a different place. I almost leave my body and I'm like, I have to get through this without freaking out that that's Gonzo I'm talking to. And I do allow myself. Sorry, go on.
And what, teach me your ways. How do you get your brain uh, go there?
I wish I could tell you, Yvette. I really do. I will be
I mean,
honest with you. It's slightly the same as I'm doing right now because, again, like Joe, that's Shirley.
Honey, hell, I'm just regular. There's nothing to go crazy
and
about over here. Trust me.
honestly, that's something that helps is like, over the years where like we have gotten to like rub elbows with these people who we've been worshiping since we were children. And to realize like, oh, they are regular. Like Dave Goles is a regular guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I will say though, and I've said this before, there's only a couple people who still like, I get the back sweat when I see them. Like one of those is like Frank Oz. Like I will never get used to being in a room with Frank Oz. Like it's not going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And not that he was not extremely approachable, but when Carol Spinney was still alive, it was just like, that's Big Bird and Oscar. And he's been doing this for 50 years. Like, I mean, like that's the guy who like taught me how to read, he's my best friend.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy. And we're losing so many legends, like so many people from our childhood. Well, I think I'm older than both of you. My childhood, they're just kind of slipping away. So Olivia Newton-John 2 days ago. It's like horrible.
Yeah. I hate to say that's going to happen more and more often. And, especially for us, like getting to know a lot of these old timers who like worked directly with Jim Henson and getting to work on projects directly with them, through the website, and knowing that like, I'm grateful that we have this time now, but there's so many people that we didn't get that chance with, and the day will come where we don't get that chance anymore. So we kind of have to go for it while we can.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
Back to Muppet Haunted Mansion. Did you have to learn how to drive a hearse for that scene?
They did this really. I don't think I'm telling tales out of school. I think they probably talked about it since then. They had this amazing, I want to say 360, well, not 360, but we were surrounded by screens almost on all four sides. And those screens could project anything back and it looked lifelike. So when I was driving, we were just on a stage and they were just kind of rocking the hearse. And then the streets were going by. So the car was never on. I don't even know if that car had an engine.
That's
Yeah.
great. Yeah. It's like that Mandalorian technology that they use. Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, I know that you only had a couple scenes. They were both with Gonzo and Pepe.
Mhm.
Did you get to interact with any of the other characters while you were there?
No, I didn't. They had a really tight schedule. So I mean, yeah, they were. I think they were the only two puppeteers that were on set the day that I shot. I had visited um a couple days earlier for, I think for my fitting. They let me go on the stage to look because I'm like, I'm not gonna be around that many Muppets and not snoop around a little bit.
Yeah.
I had to see a couple others work, but those are the only two that were there the night that I shot.
That's a shame because you're there. You want to I mean, it's great to hang out with Gonzo and Pepe. Don't get me wrong, but you're like, but where's Kermit? Where's Piggy? I want to.
Because Kermit was there the day of my, you gotta remind me, I gotta post that picture. But yeah, I met Kermit the day that I did my fittings, saw him and cried, by the way.
That makes sense.
Yep.
That tracks.
Yep, that's about right. Yep.
Yep, I'm definitely about to cry, and I apologize to him and his puppeteer friend, but yeah, I cried like a baby at the sight of him. So yeah, there's
I get
that.
it. That's an emotional moment meeting Kermit the Frog. I mean, not everyone gets to do that,
Yeah,
and he's kind of like the biggest star in the world.
absolutely he
Oh,
is.
yeah,
Absolutely
that's
he
like
is.
meeting Tom. Not I was gonna say yeah, it's like Tom Hanks. Like
Who?
Yeah.
that's there's no
No.
who I've never heard of him.
I met Betty White. I was blessed to work with Betty White a couple of times. May she rest in peace. But she's another one. She on site. Gary Marshall on site. The ugly cry, because it's your childhood walking in the door. Like it's people that you revered since you were a kid, and they walk in the door, and it's just I love you so much, and it was bad. It was really bad. Betty White was like, oh
Oh, Betty.
no, Gave me oh, let's talk about it.
Oh,
Which is
Oh, what a
exactly
sweetheart.
how you want Betty White to be.
Please just give me a hug and tell me it's going to be all right, Betty. And she really did that in that moment.
Oh, that's wonderful. What if it was the other way around though? Like she's been keeping this secret.
Going to fandom, back to fandom, because I'm such a huge fan myself, and I know what it feels like to really, for someone to really, for you to love someone a lot. And I know it seems weird because they don't know you, and as a fan, you feel like you've had so many experiences with this person, and they don't know you, they've never met you, and so your emotion is so big. And the kind people I've found, the Betty Whites, the Gary Marshalls, the Tom Hanks, I'm sure, um they meet you in that moment, and they walk with you through that moment. Because what it is for me, if I meet like a kid who loves Drake and Josh, and I've had some babies cry because it's weird, because they see you as like a cartoon, or they don't see you as real, and then you're in the frozen food section with them at Ralph's, and their little electrics, neurological system kind of bugs out from it. In the same way with us, the way we react when we see someone we love. So I try to meet them in the moment, because the point is they want to say something to you. There's something they want to tell you. There's a question they want to ask you. And their emotions are such that the moment will be past, and they'll be in their car driving home with their parent, and I didn't ask her about the dada. So I try to always meet them and go, is there something you want to ask me? Do you want to talk about something? And then that gives them a moment to get themselves together and go, yes, well, you are Drake and Josh. And then you can actually have the moment, and they get to have the actual moment they want to have. The
Mhm.
crying, their body reacting to the moment, because I know it's happened to me, but the conversation is what they want to have. And so I always try to find a way to get them to get centered with them, so we can actually have the moment that they want to have.
Yeah.
I appreciate that you do that very much because, so I live in New York City and I will, I'm from the Midwest. So like I still look people in the eye and I'll walk down the street and like, I'll be like, that's that guy from that movie or whatever it is. And sometimes I have the courage to go up to them and say hello. And, of course I would never do it if they were, with
Yeah,
a
busy.
kid or, yeah, like they got the sunglasses and hat thing going on. Like, it's like, yeah, you don't want to be bothered. I get it. But there have been a few people that it's like, I passed them and I should have gone back. And like, I still feel that regret about a few of those missed opportunities.
Once in a lifetime thing. And then also listen, again, it helps when I am a fan. When I met Janet Jackson, who everybody knows I adore, when I met Janet Jackson, like I wanted a picture with her. I wanted to tell her how much she meant to me. I wanted to ask her some questions about my favorite videos, all this stuff. So I know that is the same thing. And sometimes if your adrenaline is pumping, you'll have a moment with someone and you won't get the picture.
Mm-hmm.
So I always says, do you want to take a picture? Oh yeah. And it's like the picture never crossed their mind, because they were so out of their body in that moment. There are
Yeah.
always, and it's not even just about for people that are on television or whatever, everybody's going through a lot, you guys. Like everybody is really stressed out, and this pandemic and financial stuff and political stuff, everybody literally just wants to be seen and they want to be okay. Those are the two things everybody on this earth wants. And so if you are in a position to see someone, like I believe it's important to compliment strangers. I compliment strangers all the time, and effusive compliments, like not just, I'll go up to somebody. I saw a lady in the grocery store the other day and I said, "You look really pretty today." And she was like, "Oh," because the thing is, she did look really pretty, and time to pick her dress and to do her hair and to put on her whatever. And not that she did that for the strange woman in the produce section. She did that for herself, but it's still nice to know that someone saw your effort. And it's nothing wrong with, as long as you're not creepy and you just pop in and go, "Oh, I like your purse," or, "Oh, you wearing those boots." People's countenance changes, right? They stand a little taller when they realize that they've been seen. And so that's really all any of us can do and should do every day. And it doesn't have to be people you know. Like if you see something on someone that you like, or somebody has a nice car, or their begonias in front of their house look particularly good as you're walking the dog, tell them, "Look at those begonias. Those are some beautiful begonias." I don't know if I'm saying, but I'm saying, like, see people. Come out of your stuff and see people, and plant a flower in their life or in their day in some way. So that's all it is.
Yeah, you're right in that. Like I had someone the other day just say to me out of nowhere, "You've got great hair." Now I do.
See?
Now I do have great hair, so it's a fair enough comment. But like, yeah, that was 3 days ago, and I'm still riding that high.
See what I mean? And it wasn't anybody you knew. That's the thing. Like we all of our friends, your friends tell you have great hair. I was gonna tell you before we got off the podcast, but it's something about you're just out in your world not thinking about your great hair or your nice purse or your whatever. Or maybe you're having a really bad day, and or doubting yourself in some way, and somebody walking up going, "Oh, I really like the way you put your outfit together." Somebody saw you. You're in the world. You actually exist. We all just want to feel like somebody sees us, and we all just want to be okay. Those two things are universal. And the kind people want it for others as well, and not just themselves. I want everybody to be okay. I want everybody on this planet to be okay. You know?
I love
So
that sentiment. That's great. By the way, this does remind me very much of of an episode of Community. This is after your tenure there, but there was a episode with Keith David, his
mhm.
character, where I think they're at a wedding, and he's just gets into this groove of like complimenting people that he doesn't know because they love hearing it. It's like, "Hey, you're a guy who knows how to wear a shirt," or like
Yeah.
"Great sandwich," or whatever it was. It was hysterical.
Good episode.
So I also, something I'm always curious about with people who, are huge Muppet fans. I love asking them about what kind of form their Muppet fandom takes nowadays, like currently. Like, are you watching things? Are you going back and watching the Muppet Show on Disney Plus, or do you like collect merchandise, anything like that?
I own all of the Muppet Show episodes on DVD.
Great.
I bought a replica of my Shirley puppet because
Great.
I'm
Amazing.
in it a chance that I have a Muppet that looks like me, made by people peripheral to the Henson dynasty or the family. So I did that, and it was big money. I remember the time I bought it, it was like close to my paycheck, and I just called and gave it to him because I'm like, I want this. I just actually got gifted a Gonzo replica. There's a woman named Emily Rose on Twitter that makes beautiful Muppets, and she gifted me with a Gonzo. Like I told you, Gonzo's my favorite. So
I think it
I
was
have
the
my Gonzo.
plumber, wasn't it? Dressed as the plumber.
Yep. Yep.
Yes, I'm fortunate
Yep.
that I have an Emily replica as well.
So great. Which one do you have? Who do you have?
I have a baby Sweetums, so it's Sweetums from the new Muppet Baby Show, and he is adorable.
I love it. I have a Kermit that I have. I'm still amazed that this Kermit still speaks. It was one that came out probably 20 years ago. He's singing Caribbean Amphibian. If you squeeze his button, his not his butt, his button is in his little hand, that, and he catches flies, and he's like life size, whatever size Kermit would be on the Muppet Show. So I have him. And then also when Lego came out with the small Muppet figures, I went ape. Sure. I have because I kept buying them because there's still one I couldn't get. I don't know if I'm missing. I think I'm missing Rolf. No, I'm missing Fozzie. I can't find a Fozzie, so I'm gonna have to go on eBay or go deep state diving on Reddit somewhere to see who has a Fozzie bear.
We'll get you one. Yeah,
give me.
We'll hook you up with a Fozzie. We'll figure that out.
Thank you.
That's great. I love hearing that. Like I think it's hard to foster fandom when, especially in the times where there's not a lot happening with Muppet fandom or in Muppet productions. I mean, and I know we're really lucky that we did get Haunted Mansion last year, and there's a new Mayhem series that's coming very soon. But for us, like we've been at this Muppet thing for a long time, and there are like years that go by with nothing. Or like there's like one new T-shirt or like one new like Hallmark ornament for the whole year, and like that's it. We got to figure out ways to like keep it alive, within us and with our community.
I saw your website though. Like you guys will go in and do a deep dive on one thing in particular, which I think is really great. And it's really, I think what fandom in general is about too is just the camaraderie, because every time I'm sure you guys interview a new Muppet fan, you're seeing the fandom through their eyes, and so that revives it too, and it's fun for fans to get a chance to talk about when they first loved the Muppets or who their favorite Muppet is or whatever, and you learn different things through that. So that's how we do it. We have to keep it alive for ourselves.
So what were your favorite like sketches or Muppet moments when you were younger?
Oh gosh, there's so many. Anytime Big Bird and Snuffleupagus were doing their thing, and Snuffleupagus with the big eyelashes and as big as he was. I just saw the clip recently where everybody found out that he was real for the first time, and they like panned by all the faces. And it just so many warm memories out with Sesame Street in particular. In regards to Muppet memories, Kermit, the first time I saw him sing Rainbow Connection in the Muppet movie is imprinted on my heart. Like when I pass away, it will be one of the memories that flashes in front of my head, because it was just such a magical song. It was our first time seeing Muppets with legs. Well, mine anyway, as a kid, because you never saw their legs. And so by the time he was riding the bike, it was over for me. Um, the I'm going to go back there someday is why Gonzo's my favorite Muppet. That song is so beautiful. I mean, it rotates between that and Rainbow Connection as my two favorite Muppet songs, but and moving right along. Can't go wrong moving right along. But just something about the way Gonzo sings that song is so beautiful. That's another thing that just sticks with me. Mana is big. Danny Boy with Danny Boy is one of the funniest clips ever, not just a Muppet clip. By the time Animal comes in, I can't. So that's just a few.
Well, you brought up.
Used to.
I was going to say.
Sorry, go ahead, Jarrod.
Sorry, I was going to say you brought up Rainbow Connection, and I'm going to go back to that someday. And that just reminded me, you got to work with Paul Williams on Community, who is a previous guest of this very podcast, and has promised me that touch all of the wood, that if I happen to pass away before him, he'll come to my funeral and sing Rainbow Connection.
Tell me that. Oh, but you were fangirling out or fanboying. I fangirled so hard. I like all but laid at his feet when he was on Community. I followed Paul around like a freaking shadow. I was like, I would, the character Chris Farley did on. Remember the time when you
Yep.
that. When you were on the motor, and then you say, he was like, yes, Yvette. Yes. So, like, I think I embarrassed myself, but it was Paul Williams. What are you gonna do? I love him so much. I'm telling you, it's just.
I was really lucky. My father is a massive Paul Williams fan, and when he found out I was interviewing him, like he told everybody he knew, Jarrod's interviewing Paul Williams, and Dad happened to be home the day we did it, and so I said to Paul after the interview, hey, do you mind if I go get my dad? And he goes, oh my god, do it. And that was February last year, and my dad will still tell everyone that story. He's got the video of it that he's shown. Like, he'll walk around to stores because he's a rep, and he'll show people like, oh, you know Paul Williams? Oh yeah, my son knows him, and I got to meet him, and what a guy.
He's such a good man, and one of our greatest songwriters. I think he is. I know he's heavily awarded and all that, but they don't make him like Paul Williams.
Well, and going back to what we were saying before, he's the nicest guy. He's such a nice guy. When I mean, much like setting up this interview with you, Yvette, we reached out to him years ago just to say like, hey, we know you're a big deal, but like, would you wanna? And he's like, yes, let's do it. Like, all I want to do is talk about Muppets. And we got to, like, not only did we get to do a terrific long form interview with the Paul Williams, like, he invited us to like his hotel and treated us to breakfast. And like, let's like have a conversation and let's talk for like 2 hours about every little detail you could ever want to know. And like, who does that? Celebrity or not, who does that?
And you're making me realize that, because he had said something to me at the time, like, we should have lunch, and I thought he was just being nice, and now I'm like, we probably could have lunch.
Yeah, I guarantee you, he wants to be friends. Like, that's his MO. He reached out to me once and just emailed me. It's like, hey, do you play golf? Do you want to play golf sometime? I'm like, Paul, I wish in this moment more than any other time in my life that I knew how to play golf.
Oh, he's such a dear man. He is such a dear man. Yeah.
It's the best. So hypothetically, if they were to bring the Muppet Show back,
Oof.
and they were to say to you, Yvette, we want you to be a guest on the Muppet Show, what would you want to do?
Oh God, even you saying that gave me agita. Like, I don't feel worthy. I mean, even we were talking about Sesame Street earlier, like, I just don't. I've never been like, I can't believe they haven't had me on. I don't feel worthy yet. Like, I don't feel like I've earned it yet, and I don't know what I would. I mean, I probably would dress up as Miss Piggy. Of course, we'd have to do that. That'd have to be part of the show in some way. I would love to get to sing with Kermit or Gonzo or Pepe. Like, that would be great. I mean, I can't. I've never even dreamed that big. Like, that's so big. Do the Muppet Show. My God, I can't even imagine.
Well, while you're thinking, I do want to confirm for you that you are not small potatoes. Like, you would be a gut for that.
I was gonna say,
I
Yvette,
think that would be
you are worthy.
Yeah, really fun episode. Yeah,
Thank you.
Absolutely. Because I know, like, back when they did the Muppet Show the first time around, like, they would kind of take the celebrity out to lunch or something, and they would say, okay, what do you want? Like, what are your favorite characters? What are your ideas? And kind of they would collaborate together. And I feel like that's why this is such an interesting exercise to say, like, not just what would a writer decide to do with you? It's what would you want to do with them?
That's what they do on Saturday Night Live too, right? When you go in, you sit down and you say, and it's very telling that I've never thought of that question, because I've never seen myself on the Muppet Show. I can dream big enough for Sesame Street. The idea of them bringing the Muppet Show back and you're the host for the week. Ooh, I've never dreamed that big. We finally reached my ceiling.
Well, that might be time to start
to
dream that big. I think just maybe have it in a little lockbox at the back and bring it out, at 3 a.m. when you get up to get a glass of water.
You know what's funny too? Like, I don't know that people believe me when I say this, but I'm really not an ambitious person. Like, I've never had a 5-year plan or a 10-year plan, and I don't have I don't have a master plan for this career. And I always joke and say, like, I kind of Forrest Gump my way through everything I've gotten. Like, I looked up and it's like I'm standing next to this great person or that great person. None of it was planned. So I don't have I just don't dream in that way. Like, I wake up and go, I can't believe I get to do this. And then I just kind of dumpty-dome my way through it. And it's just, I'm amazed. Even with Community, I've told this story before, but I wasn't going to audition for Community. I had a really bad pilot season, and my teeth had been kicked in one too many times. And I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm taking my ball and going home. And that night I got a call from my agent saying, you have an audition for a show called Community at Senator Community College. And I told them, I told myself, I'm going to get up like 9 o'clock in the morning. I'm gonna call my agent and I'm going to pass. I didn't want to tell my agent that night because I didn't want them to try to talk me into it. So I was like, I'm just gonna wake up, tell them I'm not going in, whatever. And so I woke up that morning at like 8 o'clock, and I said, well, let me just read it. I'm gonna read the script first before I pass. And then I read it and was like, oh my God, this is amazing. And then I had to scramble to try to learn lines and create a character in time for the audition, which was like at 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. But that's Forrest Gumping, because I really was not gonna go in. And they saw everybody for all of those characters. Like there were probably 200 women there. I'm not joking, to audition for Shirley that day. And I still don't know how I got it, because there were some talented women there that work all the time. And Forrest Gump. It was just, it ended up in on my plate. It's crazy.
That's terrific. I love that. Sometimes you just gotta be in the right place at the right time and just have the want and to be the right person. Sometimes you are the right person. So I have to drop this. I don't know if this is actually Muppet related, but you and I have something else in common. We're both from Cleveland. I grew up in Cleveland Heights and South Euclid, so not terribly far from you.
Yeah, I grew up in East Cleveland and Warrensville, and my street I lived on was Noble Road, which was near Euclid, Noble Road and Euclid. Yeah, get out of here.
I know. I don't know if there's something to that of Clevelanders becoming Muppet fans.
What else is there to do besides shovel snow? Come on.
That's true. and to leave Cleveland, like that's the other reason to grow up in Cleveland, is to get out.
If I could do what I do now in Cleveland, I would have stayed. I love the Cleveland people. I even love the change of seasons. I don't love winter, but I love the change of seasons. And it's a great place to be from. Good people come out of Ohio. Well, some parts of Ohio. Good people come out of Cleveland. Let me say that. Because
no, it's true, and I completely agree with you. I like the seasons. That's why I chose to live in New York over LA, because I like my seasons, and I do love going back to Cleveland. It's a great place to be. But I think similarly to, I mean, look, you're a performer. There's really only a few cities where you could really have a good career doing that. But it's not as a fan. It's not like there's a easy way to find a community of people who have similar interests, especially something that's so niche. You kind of have to be in a city of millions of people to find your people.
Oh, it's easier because of social media. But when we were kids, when I was kid, there was no social media. So it's like you literally, if you didn't find another Muppet fan at your school, you were toughing it out watching the Muppet Show by yourself. Yeah, it's different now though.
Yep, that was me. We could have found each other if we had both stayed. We would have found each other. We would have.
My friend Janine loved the Muppets too, so I had Janine, and my brother loved them too. So those are my two people.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
I had to rein the rest of my family into it.
Oh yeah,
I've been trying to get my. I've got two nieces and a nephew. I've managed to get one into kind of Muppet Babies, the new one, and the others just I'm not interested. Although my 18-month-old nephew, as of a couple of days ago, now says Melmo when he sees Elmo on TV, and I'm like, close enough.
One that doesn't like the Muppets, didn't they not grow up with Sesame Street?
Not really. See, it's weird. In Australia, Sesame Street's not as big of a thing as it was, say, when I was a kid. And with just the amount of social media and channels and stuff nowadays, they're much more, likely to watch something like Bluey, which, don't get me wrong, is an amazing TV show. But Sesame Street was never really on their radar, and I kind of probably forced it on them a little bit to be like, nah, come on, watch it. And they did it enough to humor me. But even then, I'm not sure Sesame Street's even on at the moment in Australia.
Yeah, because I think it's only on HBO now. And the other thing is too, it was such a American urban type show. The look of it too, like you had to. It might just be boring to see like brownstones and all. It's just I can see that it probably wouldn't hit them the same way it hit me, in the 70s for sure.
Yeah, for sure. And it's like we will get Muppets out here for. Probably, it used to be once every sort of at least 2 years, although obviously due to the pandemic, they haven't been here for a while. So there's definitely some sort of market for it in Australia, but we're just not seeing anything. So that might change. I don't know. I hope it does. If only because I want to, talk to Cookie Monster again when you're sitting right next to me instead of over Zoom.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, I mean, can we very quickly, you talked about Cleveland. I know a few years ago you were in Melbourne, were you not?
Yes, it was probably, oh gosh, it's been probably a decade now. I came for one of your signings. I think it was Oz, was it
Yeah,
OzCon?
Oz
Is it
Comic
called
Con.
Oz Comic Con? Yeah, I came for that. Fun fact was on a flight. There was a flight that was on its way there years ago that water started to pour inside the plane, like a river of water going down this double decker plane. And all I kept thinking about was when it seeps through the ceiling, it's going to electrify us and we're going to fall from the sky. So we ended up having to turn the plane around and fly back out the next day. And I had never been to Australia. And it was, I think, what it's 11-hour flight, I think it is from America. And all I kept thinking of is if I don't get back on this plane, I'll never get on another plane again. So I got on it terrified and flew to Oz Comic Con and had the time of my life. It's the only time I made it to Australia in my life. And so it was beautiful. I loved the country. I loved Oz Comic Con, very well put together,
Hmm.
and had a good time. But that was probably 10 years ago now.
Gonna say it's been a long time. I tried to get tickets when I found out you were gonna be there, and they were sold out. And I was like, how am I gonna? I've got to get to Yvette somehow, and it took me 10 years, but here we are.
We finally made it to each other. Doggone, I didn't know anybody cared about coming to see me there. That's really nice to hear.
Again, Joe, that's Shirley.
Uh,
Hilarious.
so Yvette, we end every episode of this podcast with a series of questions. Jarrod has his list. I have mine. Because you have been my guest today, then you're going to answer a few questions from me, lightning round style, if that's all right.
Do it.
Okay. First question is, what is your favorite dessert?
Ooh, I'm gonna go with strawberry shortcake.
Great choice. I had a salad last week that tasted like a strawberry shortcake, and I don't know how they did it, but wow.
They need to teach me their ways. That sounds amazing.
Yeah, really. Who is your favorite superhero?
Wonder Woman.
Oh, great choice.
There's just such a lovely human being. But I grew up watching her, and we're friends on Twitter now. So I'm going with Wonder Woman.
That's great. And you've both been very vocal and active about certain things in politics these days, which has been, by the way, like really satisfying to see from both of you and all the celebrities who are speaking up. And hey, Linda Carter is a former Muppet Show guest star. So another connection there.
Mhm.
Well, I think we know the answer to this, but I'm going to ask it anyway. If there was a Muppet based on yourself, who would you want to perform it?
Oh, Jillian.
I mean, you're right. It's already
Yeah,
happened. That
already happened.
I've asked this question to a few people, and you're the first one who can genuinely say, like, no, it
Yeah.
happened. It's already cast.
Yeah.
Please pick a number between 1 and 100.
Uh, 21.
21. The AFI's top 100 movies. The number 21 movie is Chinatown. Have you seen it, and did you like it?
I have never seen all of it, and I think that means I probably didn't like it. But I don't
That,
remember, I haven't tried in a while. What was number two? What's the number two? That was what I wanted to pick.
number 2 is Godfather.
Okay, yeah. I have seen it and love that. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah,
Well, we can let number 21 go because let it go. It's Chinatown.
yeah, it's Chinatown.
So in our previous episode of this podcast, our guest, Ken Kwapis, who is the director of the Sesame Street movie Follow That Bird, asked this question, not knowing who our next guest would be. What Muppet film would you love to see be made?
Ooh, what, like that hasn't been made before?
Correct.
Ooh. I would love a Gonzo or Grover origin story.
Ooh, that's
Grover's
interesting.
another favorite Muppets. I don't think Grover gets the love he deserves. So yeah, I'd love to see an origin story with them. And I know Grover's over on Sesame Street, but you know, especially Gonzo, like there's some stuff there with Gonzo. Like we really like what's going on. Let's really talk. I want to see it. Let's get into the marrow of the bone there, sir.
Who who would you play in that movie, Yvette?
The therapist talking to Gonzo. Like I think Gonzo would have some sort of animal level snap and need to talk to somebody to work through it. And I would be the therapist that would talk to him about his life and
I
help
feel
him.
like the end of that movie is that he effectively drives you insane just by talking to you.
In a white jacket. Excuse me. I'm probably in a white jacket bouncing against walls by the end of the film for sure. For sure.
Absolutely. I also kind of love the idea of a Gonzo and Grover team up movie.
Wouldn't
All
that be
about-
great?
Yeah, all about their like thin furry blue arms.
Yeah. And being misunderstood and not really love the way they and appreciate it.
Oh, I love that, and also blue
I love
fur.
it.
And finally, without knowing who our next guest is, what question would you like to ask them?
Oh, this is tough. What is your favorite Muppet song?
Ah, great question.
Somebody's asked that before.
Nobody's
Someone-
asked that one. No.
Really?
This last question has been the gamut of like, what's the meaning of life to why was 6 afraid of 7? I mean, it could be anything.
Be Muppets. Okay. Well, I'll still. What's your favorite Muppet song?
Muppet song, I love it.
I love it.
Well, Yvette Nicole Brown, this has been an absolute joy. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for sharing your fandom with us. And thank you for being you, because you really have given us such an amazing experience just chatting with you here on this podcast.
Thank you for having me, and thank you for not using the video.
You're welcome. Just for you, I usually post screenshots, but for you, Yvette, I promise I will not.
Thank you. We can take one though, so that you can have one. You want to smile and we'll take a picture?
All right, let's take a thing out, and I'll just screenshot it when I edit this. So everyone smile. And done. Beautiful.
Love it.